live streaming now, and right now it's 2:38 p.m. I'm gonna go for 1 hour until 3:38 p.m. and then I will go to my way to class. It's Saturday, and this is like a live coding session. So like live coding / working / whatever needs to be done, and this is part of like a this new kind of like I'm really convinced about like lifestyle computing, and being a YouTuber is just like technologically, objectively the evolution of what you of human work. So I was just doing some like just made a reel. Then I and it's so frustrating with the Instagram reel editing, video editing feature. It just crashes and bugs, and I lost my work like 3 times. So I created the reel, and it takes like fucking like 30 minutes, and it's the worst feeling when your work of art that you're so happy with breaks because of the app some bug. And Instagram is one of the largest apps in the world, and it's just so full of bugs. It's just like you lose it's just like systematic Western tech company just what are you doing? Yeah, I mean like Chinese apps are just like innovating, exploding in every single aspect, and then like anyway, fuck tangents. Anyway, so I just spent like an hour and a half creating reels, and I only made 1 reel, and the second reel I have to start over. But the upside is like if you just like create something like a reel, you kind of have you have the material, the raw material, and it's kind of a beautiful work of kind of like a creative process to create a reel or create a video. And yeah, I'm feeling this baldness. Like I'm just gonna make it a thing, and like it's different, it's cool. Make it cool. I think that's a good part. So, oh fuck, one of these things. So what I'm saying is, if you just like create like a reel, you have a vision of what the output is, and like you use the materials, the raw videos that you have edited, and then you have the output. But then if you throw it all, and you're like, but then you throw it all away and you start over, you realize, oh, yeah, the first time I did this, it was like this, but really, I can improve it this way and this way and this way. So it's actually like starting over on something. It's like it's so much better, because then you're like you have all that experience of creating the first time around, and you have a clear vision on like what you want. You have a better idea of what you want, and you have a better idea of what you can do, and that's like really that loop right there captures like how you generate value in the world, and like with using technology to do this, that's just how you create the most value. That's like the famous Steve Jobs quote, like in our time, how the greatest value is created at the intersection of creativity and technology. And that's exactly that loop that I just described is exactly what he's talking about, and that's exactly what like Apple like was talked a lot about at their keynote. It's like, oh, and then we did what Apple often does. We started over, and that's true. That's just like, and anyway, that's just like that's just what the bicycle of the mind is, because like humans know how to create things, craft. Have been crafting tools since the beginning of time. And now we just have technology. So that's the same creative process, which is like one pass, second pass, iteration. You try your best, use your brain, creativity. You look, you create, input, output. Like for like a drawing, like if you're drawing something, you look and then you draw. You look and then you draw, and you're supposed to like do like even amount of looking, getting the data, and then drawing. Likewise, if you're creating a reel, you have all your content, all the raw video. you look at what you have, and then you splice it. You splice it. You have little effects. You have filters. You have speed. You have music, rhythm, filters. That's these are the tools. So I need to build a freaking video editing app that doesn't crash and cause you to start over. But also, it may just be an agent that helps you create it and gives you different versions and walks you through like all the raw footage and sees like what's the best, the juiciest clips that the juiciest moments that the most impactful. Because it's often like choosing the right selection of the right clip, the right reality. It's just like you just have to have kind of understanding and intelligence about like what's valuable, because you really want to focus on the highlight, on the things you want to see more of, the things you like. So like I have a 5-minute training session on Muay Thai with pads, and then it's like this one 10-second clip, this one punch is like looks really cool, looks really good, like this really perfect form and energy and power and force. And it's just like I want to capture that, find that 5-second piece out of a 5-minute clip. That takes a lot of work. So that's just where the AI can come in, with understanding each scene, and then being able to see like which are the most interesting. And then if you have like a personality of the video editor, you can have conversations and see what kind of vibe you want to highlight and you want to come across. So this is like what I envision doing with Lumi, and having each character or agent having these tools, like a video editing tool, which you can have like a marketplace of like tools, which is like functions, reusable functions, like pipelines of like video understanding. Then you have all the clips and video editing and so on. All right, enough of this intro, and I'm gonna get back. I want to do 1 hour of session, and I'm gonna be like, so this is like part of the, again, like lifestyle computing is like, if I don't like, if I when I work, I capture it on the live stream, and then I see like, yeah, this is good. So I mean, this is like, it just made me another side note. Like this morning, I was just thinking like, I spent from like age 10 to like 23 an obscene amount of hours like skateboarding and just being obsessed and like eating, breathing, and living skateboarding. But then like, and sometimes I'm just thinking like, oh, well, that it didn't result in that. There was the returns of that investment were just not really good. But it really comes to like a spiritual self-development kind of aspect, like because in that scene of a skateboarding, the culture, the upside is that there was just innovation happening a lot in there about lifestyle computing, using video cameras and producing video. And so that aspect I was kind of like, I was not that active in. And this is like getting into personal kind of private world of personal self-development, of how I was feeling then, and all these other variables that I just will keep in my own private like video journals, which are just like about like all these things that there's no real need, use, or value for them to be like public. But these are like your personal self-development kind of like feelings, like, and your kind of goals and your ambitions, and working with like your AI team to coach yourself, right? So I'm just like talking about really lifestyle computing and having these skills of like creating your own personal reels, vlogs, and live streaming and all these things, like, and kind of like making it like a thing, because it's really like you don't want to like have what I'm trying to say is, I'm talking about lifestyle computing, like things like being a content creator, as something that is kind of like pushing humanity forward. This is the path for human development. But it cannot be like the culture of skateboarding is just about like physical, athletic development, but it's also kind of super innovative. I mean, it's like so there's a lot of pitfalls. But anyway, like, but what I mean is like another core aspect of like what I feel is like super important is like understanding like you need to understand computing. Like in my own personal kind of story, being overly into like physical fitness without or skill development, for me like a holistic system also uh, has like skills development in thinking and coding. So anyway, going back to and by the way, like John Carmack could get on stage and just talk for 3 hours about the details of like programming game engines and things like that. And that's what coding does to you. It gets you so dialed in, so smart, so sharp intellectually. You can get up on stage and just like give a brilliant 3 hour nonstop lecture about like, because the idea is like you can have all this complexity in your mind, and as a developer, you're just trained to have all these variables, all these functions in your mind, always simulating them, and then like, I mean, that's coding teaches you how to think. Okay, and there's that Steve Jobs interview. It's like the interviewer asks him, so uh, something like, I learned to code, but it was just painful, and he's just like, you don't get it, kind of like that. But anyway, so gonna go back to try to do a work. Going to do an hour block of work. So let's see if this is live streaming. Seems to be going. You don't get it, kind of like that. But anyway, so gonna go back to try to do. So it's going. The screen is hidden because I'm working with private sensitive API keys and passwords. The screen is hidden because I'm working with Yeah, I really believe that. And if you look at like the rise of like early 2000s music, like hip hop, like Eminem, they were really innovating on like live radio and digital platforms, and just like in the 2000s and 2000 and the teens, like we've seen an immense rise of cultural innovation happening with like this like digital lifestyle computing lifestyle kind of paradigm. So I'm gonna like just do some like other commentary. Like I need to today make a YouTube video about your like what you plan to do. No, like what your online presence is about. Like just create YouTube videos. As a life path. I mean, YouTuber. Now I do have the screen hidden because I'm working with passwords.
温泉でのんびりしたいのよ。
海でパーッとやろうよ。
飯で贅沢っての。
audio's not really coming in through, so I have to like speak to the mic better. And that I think that happens when there's music playing on the Mac on the computer, and then it's super loud. So what I was saying here is that this is like an example of what the purpose of lifestyle computing is, and it means you become a filmmaker and you become a main character in your own story, and you capture this journey of the effort that you put in, and you stack all those wins, those moments where you shine, where you do something right. Then you want to amplify those, and you want to replay those, and you want to focus on those, and by your brain seeing those wins, it builds momentum, builds confidence, and it snowballs into amplifying your inherent ability, your ability. I mean, everybody has really, these amazing abilities. So it's really about unlocking that, bringing your attention to the wins and amplifying them. And it means you become a filmmaker and you become a main character in your own story, and you capture this journey of the effort that you put in, and you stack all those wins, those moments where you shine, where you do something right. Then you want to amplify those, and you want to replay those, and you want to focus on those, and by your brain seeing those wins, it builds momentum, builds confidence, and it snowballs into amplifying your inherent ability, your ability. I mean, everybody has really, everyone has this ability to think and ability to do, and if you just like combine that with the right knowledge, then we are limitless. So anyway, going back, I think I have 20 minutes. I'm gonna now hide my screen and go back to coding with my private passwords. All right. All right, it's 3:30, and it sounds like it's raining outside, and I have maybe 10, 20 minutes to go, and then I will go to Muay Thai and just have a chill session. It's okay. Like, try not to burn out is my kind of thought right now. I'm making progress and thinking about that movie Memento and how, in a way, we are like that person in that film Memento where he just has like amnesia after every day, but then leaves notes and clues to himself about the truth. And that is kind of like how we operate. It's like we really forget like the truth, and we need to like create these tools and tips for ourselves. Well, I'm going to start getting ready for Muay Thai and wind down the work session here. Always ending this video with a few moments sending positive thoughts and vibrations to you, because every thought matters. May you be free from suffering.